My name is Harry, and I'm from London.
Meghan Markle here.
Alright, today is May 15, 2026. It is exactly 5 a.m. So, whatever I recorded yesterday afternoon, I just finished editing them. So, one part of it will be on this channel, and some other parts is gonna be on PYTE, because I read the op-ed that Harry put out. It's on PYTE, and I think in this video I may have some tweet making reference to it, so go on PYTE and check it out. And there's an article I want to read here as well regarding the movie that Harry and Meghan are doing. Again, this might be here or PYTE. Alright, so let's go on X. Let me follow my list because I do not have that much time, unlike yesterday. So I want to follow my list. First tweet. Okay, so the squad are making reference to the mute challenge when Mambo went to Italy and she was not trending. Okay, so that's what this is making reference to. By the way, I have newfound respect for the mute challenge. It revealed a lot. Alright, they need us, we don't need them. So that's the hashtag here. Alright, there is a reason cosplay Katie leaves her castle, so Meghan coded. They realized a long time ago that the only way to get attention outside royalist bubble is to trigger a certain fan base. Glad we're not falling for it anymore. Alright, let me pause. Yes, so evident to me now, everything they do is to get the attention of one of the most popular worldwide fan base. This is deranged behavior that is actually coming at a literal price to the UK taxpayers. Wild. Okay. This. Plus, people have got to stop using their actual names when they do talk about them. We don't come up with a million nicknames just to be funny. There's egg, there's mambo, there's all sort of things. Right? They literally need our eyeball, folks. We can choose where we direct our attention. On your power. Alright? Whatever's here, that's it. But, oh, let me read everything. There's the flower here. And this one says, Bango, without us, she can't trend. How sad. There's the clap here. That was the most successful mute challenge to date. We really pulled it off. It's as if that lady never left her island. Alright. Right. They literally need our eyeballs, folks. We can choose where we direct our attention. Alright. So let's go to the next one. And I think this is making reference to it as well. It said trending. Okay. So there's this here, and her caption says, that's all. Alright, so today's news, Prince Harry and Meghan adapted gripping Afghanistan war memoir for Netflix. That's the one I want to read. I want to know what it is about. I mentioned it in one of the recording yesterday, but I didn't read the article. So I think I want to read it to see what it is about. And there's here, Prince Harry warned of rising anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim hate in UK. Harry spoke about both of them. He mentioned both, but the UK seemed to focus only on the anti-Semitism, not the Muslim part. Alright, let's read some of the comments. How embarrassing for her. Not even a single UK front page, there's the laugh here, for day 2. Oh, how many days is she over there? Well, I did talk about her yesterday, put some pictures out, what was coming out of her outing. When you're irrelevant, you trend on X, LOL, apparently. There's that. That's a shade, by the way, because when Harry and Meghan were leaving the UK, they told them they were irrelevant. So that's what she's making reference to, okay? Just in case some of you don't understand what this tweet means. When you are irrelevant, you trend on X, LOL. Alright? I actually have a thumbnails when Harry and Meghan were leaving. and I said something, the irrelevant ones or something, just look on the screen. There's that. That's an ad. Okay, let's go to the next one. The next tweet. This one is making reference to Mambo. There's that. Where are all articles whipping up outrage that taxpayers in other countries have to foot the security costs and taxpayers in her country have to pay for her travel. All right, let's see here. Is it bigger? Yeah. Prostitute and rage that no one is buying the drivel they're selling. Headlines like this is what happened when you hype up 4-hour photo app spread out over 2 days, upstaged by an op-ed. Judith Wood, Catherine Shams, and Harry's tone-deaf comments prove the royal are better off without him. While the Princess of Wales charms Italy this week, the Duke of Sussex gave us a navel-gazing lecture. The contrast can be clearer. Harry just, okay, focusing on the, the headlines, what they're trying to do here. Harry just had to try and torpedo Catherine. I mean, this is a completely two different things here. Unless Harry knows or have psychic or they told him what the other one. Oh, please. Harry just have to try and torpedo Catherine's careful crafted Italy tour. Then the question had to be raised over Harry's timing. Oh my God. It's like everybody else's life had to stand still while the other ones are parading stupidity. So there's that. Let's go to the next. Let's read some of the comment. The media are hypocrite, but perfect kid honor the royal contract. With the media gives them access to her kids, so in exchange give her glowing coverage. Whereas Harry and Meghan told the media where to go and rip that contract up, so the media are out to destroy them for no access. The same Middleton that does her vanity Italian tour while her father-in-law is opening Parliament. You can't make this shit up. That's another point. That's another point. See, I don't follow these people for me to be able to have this type of comment on top of my head to do the pushback. I don't follow them. Even though I think in one of the videos, the squad were putting pictures where the street was empty. The barricades were there, but nobody was behind the barricades. So, yeah, I don't follow them, so I will not know full context on top of my head. How was Harry tone deaf? He is very relevant. Yeah. Alright, let's go to the next tweet. Okay, I think this is the op-ed. Or they're making reference to it. I'm not going to read Harry's op-ed again. Okay, so this person is making reference to it. Any comments? Credit to the rightful owner. TikTok, the tiny pod. So I'm not on TikTok. Whatever is on X and come on my timeline. It makes sense for me to share with you. I will share with you. But just keep in mind, as you read along with the tweet that I'm sharing with you, this is the person. Okay? So if any credit needs to go to them, this is the thing. I don't block their name because it's public and it come under my timeline and I thought it is relevant for me to share with you. It's right there. Sometimes I don't mention them. Well, majority of time. Anyway, so this person is giving credit to the TikToker. Alright? Now let's focus on the tweet itself. Duke of Sussex Prince Harry's strong stance against anti-Semitism received extensive coverage from mainstream media, while his equally urgent warnings about anti-Muslim discrimination were notably underreported, revealing a disparity in how different forms of hate are highlighted. And then you see Charles went to see some of those Jewish community and whatnot. I think the video was too long. I just scrolled through it. Okay, I didn't really play it completely. Charles will be going toward that because the Jewish community wants support of any person in power because they have their agenda. And then Charles need a fan base because not too long ago I was mentioning that, not just me mentioning it, or tweet or making reference that his fan base who are in the UK are older. And they are moving away from Charles now. So if Charles could get those Jewish community to be for him, he'll take advantage of it. And then they have the same mindset to destroy black and brown communities. But anyway, let's listen to this. It's 1 minute and 45 seconds. Screenshot in between.
Prince Harry has just written an article in the New Statesman where he says that fear and division are amplified faster than truth. This article, talking about humanity how too easily people are reduced to identities and categories, and how it is our responsibility to stand up against injustice. And this very article about truth has now been weaponized. It has been spread as something talking about anti-Semitism, when it is talking about all hate, all fear, all division, and more precisely, anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim hate in the same sentence. And yet Islamophobia gets left out of the conversation, racism gets left out of the conversation. The media attack anyone who stands for truth or censors truth. And these impartial truths, distorted narratives, false narratives, smear campaigns are becoming relentless. The amazing thing is, when you choose truth personally, when you don't just say you want an honest life whilst living dishonestly, and you walk in truth, you remain at peace, even when you are smeared, attacked, and misrepresented. So thank you, Prince Harry, for the truth. And I hope this can be used for good to wake everyone up to how the media are divisive, inducing fear, and against our collective humanity, to be circumventing collective understanding, truth, equality, and unity.
Okay, first of all, there's a music behind in that video. I'm gonna have to put my own music, so that's why you will be hearing the music as I play that. Second, again, this is why those MAGAs, those Rupert Murdoch type of people, okay, they capture all form of communication because they want to be the provider of news. And when they deliver the news, they pretty much deliver it to shape your mind certain way. They do not want you to be a free thinker. Because if they had put the information out the way Harry had presented it, people will be thinking and choose their side. But no, they shape your mind. This is the way you should be thinking, and they left out all part. One of the things that I said in the video that I read the op-ed is that maybe, or did I put it? Yeah, I went on a long rant and I cut it out. I don't think I left it in the video. But one of the things that I said is that maybe Harry should at one point bring a Jewish and a Muslim person together and talk and discuss things. Okay, now we will see how the media will portray that, because lately I've been seeing in the US, even though I think they're all a little bit too late, okay, after Palestine had been flattened, but I'm seeing some Jewish groups in the US coming out, especially in New York, coming out speaking against what Netanyahu, Israel is doing to Palestine. Again, like I said, I feel like they are a little bit late for doing that. It should have been in the middle, when, or even at the start, the moment they saw what was happening. But Palestine is flattened. There's things they shooting the survivors. There's so much that's going on. So with that being said, that's that. I will hope one day Harry will bring a group of diverse, not, well, now that I'm saying that, not just Jewish and Muslim, all sort of diverse group of people. Sit down, have a talk, that somewhat they will have different views of things, but at least the common goal is for unity and to be able to live peacefully together. That will be the goal. But to reach that, each one of them, obviously they are human, they will have different point of view of how to reach that unity and peaceful living. And I would love to see how the media will cover it. Let's go to the next tweet. All right, so that's that. Let's go to the next tweet. And I think the next tweet is making reference to the op-ed again. Okay, so the squad are talking about it. Quote, standing against anti-Semitism wherever it appears while recognizing that anti-Muslim hatred and all form of racism draw from the same well. Okay, Harry knows what he's talking about. His wife is facing it too. That's another branch of things. Prince Harry's article shows concern for both anti-Jewish hate and, you see, she put it in quote, anti-Muslim hate. And what does the BBC headline do? Harry warns a deeply troubling rise of anti-Semitism in the UK. Yeah, they left the anti-Muslim. Okay, so that's the thing. This is pointing out in the previous TikTok video. All right, we cannot answer injustice with more injustice. The full opinion piece by Prince Harry for the New Statesman. Okay, I'm not gonna read it again. I read that. Oi. All right, so that's the cover. This is the article. Pause and read, or go on PYTE. I read the whole thing, and there it is. Okay, and there's a part here I like when he brought up his experience. Okay, I am acutely aware of my own past mistakes, thoughtless action for which I have apologized. What I think is making reference to in this little paragraph here is when he wore the Nazi uniform, taking responsibility and learn from it, because the Rangers kept on bringing that whenever there's a discussion that has to do with whatever, making reference to the hate and things like that, they love to bring that, even though it was his brother and sister-in-law who forced him to put it. But there he is here. He said he apologized for it and he took responsibility and he learned from it. So this is what we need to do. All right, so that's that. There is a lot of it about the way it has been reported in the UK media. You will not know that he even mentioned anti-Muslim hate. Sigh. To be fair, I can't think of a time someone wore a suicide vest or drove a car through a crowd of Muslims, so maybe the physical threat to that group is relatively low. Well, the thing is that sometimes you have to ask why. This is not to say I agree. This is not to say I agree with the action of people wearing what this tweet just mentioned. But sometimes, look at how, perfect example, look how tone deaf the entire world is to what is happening to the Palestinian. The African land is flattened. So maybe they have been crying for help for so many times, but because many of these people capture form of communication, they never put the truth out. We've seen through our lifetime, not too long ago, maybe a couple months, 2 years ago, they're killing journalists over there who's reporting what's happening in the Middle East. So maybe that was their last resort. They're killing them anyway. So they have to, okay, I do not want to amplify that. Any form of violence is not good. Okay, but sometimes there are people, they're crying for help, nobody's listening to them, nobody is helping them, and then look at, like, this one is pointing blame at them, when, keep in mind, this is their homeland. The Jews went to their homeland and occupied their state and then turn around and kill them, and then you're blaming them for the injustice that is happening to them. This, unless, if I'm not seeing it correctly, because it just doesn't make sense to me. Media seems determined not to be balanced in their reporting. This is the only humanitarian way to look at the situation. The victims of war are everywhere and not confined to one community. All innocent human beings should be protected and respected. That is true. All right, so let's leave it. Let's go to the next one. There's an article I want to read. Maybe it's going to be part 2. It's already 5:19. Okay. A majority of the UK media getting exposed like this for anti-Muslim bias is honestly a battle worth fighting. Another sign that Prince Harry is right to speak up, or at the very least that this conversation is how we move forward. That's the one I want to read. I read that, whatever you see on the screen in my last video, but I didn't have the archive. All right, so there's the thing here. This is the article where Harry did his op-ed. My fear for a divided kingdom. We must stand against both anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim hate. So by Prince Harry. That's the headline. But the UK, on the other hand, okay, anti-Semitism, you don't see anti-Muslim at all in the headline. Sky News, ITV, The Times, all you can think, they only pick one side because that's what they want people to think. This is the only thing Harry said. Okay, Harry wants a deeply troubling rise in anti-Semitism in the UK. BBC, that's another outlet. Okay, Sky News owned by Rupert Murdoch, Times Murdoch, other right-wing gossip, foreign billionaires owners. Yeah, they're on the same page. All right, those billionaires on the same page. They similar to the US. They have their special interests and they want to divide. All right, so this is the op-ed. Not the op-ed, the media that's covering that how the UK is taking Harry's op-ed. All right, that's from the news. That's an archive. The link will be in the description. Media misses half of Harry's story. The press have gone big with Prince Harry's attack on anti-Semitism, but had less to say about his similar warnings on anti-Muslim hate. Quote, Harry warns of deeply troubling rise in anti-Semitism in the UK runs a headline on the BBC News homepage today. Similarly, The Times is running the headline, Prince Harry rising anti-Semitism in the UK is deeply troubling. Prince Harry, okay, this is all the headline. Prince Harry speaks out, deeply troubling. Okay, they just pretty much leaving out the Muslim part. All right. So they're saying ITV, Sky News, this is what they put on their headline. Only focus on the anti-Semitism. And indeed, Prince Harry has rightly described the recent rise in anti-Semitism in Britain as troubling, but that's only half the story. The one-time royal has penned an article for the New Statesman headline, My fears for a divided kingdom, with the sub-headline, quote, we must stand against both anti-Semitism and anti-Muslim hate, end quote. Curiously, though, the rest of the British media seem to have missed the second part of that sentence, Harry detailing his concerns about both anti-Semitism rising, anti-Muslim sentiment, said he was speaking out because staying silent will allow, quote, hatred and extremism to flourish unchecked, end quote. That means being unequivocal, standing against anti-Semitism wherever it appears, while recognizing that anti-Muslim hatred and all forms of racism draw from the same well of division, he writes. They must be confronted with the same resolve. It also means speaking out against the immense loss of innocent life without fear, but with care and responsibility. For some reason, though, the rest of the press pack seems to have missed that bit. All right, so that was it. I thought there was going to be more opinion of it. So they didn't report everything that Harry said. They pick a side that benefit them and then left the other thing. That's it. Let's go to the next tweet. Now, this is a variety. I think this one I might read it as well. Do I have? Oh, no, they're making reference about it. Okay, look at you, Variety, begging for clicks from the people you swore were finished at Netflix, while also acknowledging that the chain of information no longer reaches you. Variety's headline. It's just a screenshot. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle developing film adaptation of Afghan war memoir, No Way Out for Netflix. Deadline was the first to report the No Way Out news. So people probably not clicking on it. This is okay. I'm glad I started this video where I was showing that the squad then make the other one trend. Okay, Mambo wasn't trending because the squad ignored her. So that particular article that this squaddy is making reference about what is it? Variety said that Harry and Meghan are finished. I didn't read that article, but when it came out, the squad were talking about it. Am I making sense? So it seems like majority of squaddies, when Variety puts stuff out, they don't click on it anymore. Do you understand what's going on? Before, the squad were very welcome with Variety. They will click on whatever that talks about Harry and Meghan. But one time, they did something. They put an article out and the squad were very upset about it. And then I think ever since, And that particular article that the squad were upset about, I didn't read it, but many of the squad were making reference about it. And then now, when it seems like when Variety put things out about Harry and Meghan, they don't click it. So this is why this squad is laughing about it, because the memoir seems like Variety was the one who first put it out, and it did not make noise. So now Variety is saying they were the first one to bring it out. Okay, the squad don't click on that thing. So once you mess with the squad, you putting false information, they're done with you. But Matt Donnelly from Variety swore up and down that Netflix was done working with them. The red carpets and premieres for these projects will be funny when Variety sent someone there. And you know, another thing as well, it's on my community board. I think in Texas, what do you call this? Something general is going after Netflix for, I think, surveillance. I don't remember the full thing. Go on my community board. Alright, so I think there's some talk under the radar when, you know, that father, you know, that person from the UK who came when they told him not to come. So he must have said something, because Netflix is pretty much where Meghan and Harry display their work, and they don't want that to happen. So now they're attacking Netflix. Again, I will keep on saying that at the end of the day, Harry and Meghan need to have their own streaming platform. Okay? And then people who wants to put things on their platform, Harry and Meghan could make deal with them whichever way. Alright, let's finish with what's on the screen here. Matt Donnelly, look at your life. Sucks to be those losers with typo 2. It's giving extremely bitter. Okay, a worse job because they don't want to miss out on industry news that's sure to generate clicks. No way. Okay, they put the W. It should be no way out. Alright, so that is it, right? I don't have any more for this. The next one I'm gonna do, I think it will be on PYTE, has to do with Invictus. Okay, I will be reading the Invictus thing. There's a, yeah, Invictus Australia. I want to read that. Alright, oh my god, it's pretty decent. I'll see. It's already 5:30. But anyway, that will be on PYTE. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. If you want to support this channel, there's a PayPal link and a Cash App link in the description. You could donate. Those who have donated, thank you. Alright, so that's it. Thanks for watching.
It is a great privilege to be with all of you today.
You know, we ask for forgiveness and please come back.